The Saints getting ready for a hungry team with stars on both sides of the football. Stay tuned. Plenty to go here on the Acme Oyster House Afternoon Wrap. New Orleans Saints back on the practice field here at the Osher Sports Performance Center on this Thursday with John DeShazier. I'm Sean Kelley. Welcome into the Acme Oyster House Afternoon Wrap. John, let's just start with the good news today. More guys on the practice field than what we saw yesterday.
Yeah, guys are a little bit nicked up. Michael Thomas was ill, but he was back on the practice field. Ted Ginn Jr. was back on the practice field. Teron Armstead back on the practice field. Good to see. No Tyler Davidson at defensive tackle, so that worries you a little bit, especially when you're talking about facing a mobile quarterback like Tyrod Taylor. You need all the help you can get. So that defensive tackle rotation is going to be, looks like it's going to be down one guy.
Yeah, it might be. We'll stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll see how Davidson's doing in that sense. John, you mentioned Tyrod Taylor and his ability to scramble. He also has guys to throw to. Man, their wide receiver core is much improved.
You know, you talk a lot about Josh Gordon, a guy who's coming back. However, they made a trade for Jarvis Landry. And Jarvis Landry, Juice Landry from LSU, one of the premier receivers in the league. I think right now, currently, he holds the NFL record for receptions over the first 3 years of a career. And he's a guy who's got great hands, extremely physical, tough, a really tough matchup.
Yeah, his catchphrase, of course, bless him. Kurt Coleman, a blessing to us, talked about his side of the football's efforts in working against Landry this weekend.
He does a great job of being able to stem guys. You know, sometimes he at the top of routes, you'll see him, he'll stick people in one way and then come out the other way. But you know, he's a tough wide receiver. He's a great blocker. I mean, he does a lot of things. And at the top of at the top end of the routes, I mean, he's very strong through the catch.
So Landry and Gordon, we'll keep an eye on those guys on the offensive side of the football for the Cleveland Browns this Sunday. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of the football, a Greg Williams scheme, as we talked about yesterday, John, high pressure package. And oh, by the way, they feature the #1 overall draft pick from a short time ago in Myles Garrett.
Yeah, a kid who had all the intangibles coming out of college. You like his size, his speed, his ability to get around the corner, his power. And certainly now it seems to be translating in the NFL. Didn't early, but now it seems to be translating.
Yeah, he looks like a superhero at times, and of course he is coming in onto the blind side of Saints quarterback Drew Brees.
He's super athletic, and he's really big and strong. Got great flexibility. You know, he can bend the corner. He's got great power. So he's just got all the tools.
I mean, freak athlete, extremely talented, gifted. The size he possesses, along with his abilities, makes him a tough opponent. You can tell he's working to become a complete player. I'm definitely been impressed with him.
You see this kind of thing routinely, though. Are you looking forward to this kind of challenge?
Oh, always. I mean, it's the reason why we play the game, to go out there and compete. I always want to compete against the top guys, whoever that may be. So it'll be a fun game Sunday.
All right, so as we mentioned, a couple of stars out there for the Cleveland Browns. You have to be careful with them. John, it's really interesting here in week 2 as well. Both teams have really something significant to play for. Obviously, the Saints don't want to fall to 0-2 to start the season. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Browns, they don't want to be winless in their last 19. The last team to do that was the Lions. Remember that? Those were all losses for Detroit. Cleveland's coming off the tie. So I know it's only week 2, but man, this is a highly motivated game for both teams.
Well, and when you talk about Cleveland, go back to 2016 season. They lost 15 of 16 that season. Just happened to win one in December, and then they lose all 16 last season. Tie the opener this year. The Saints, a team that many people believe can go to the Super Bowl. So to lose their first game out of the gate at home is something of a setback, and they want to get back on the right track. You don't want to start your homestand 0-2 and then have to go on the road to Atlanta and then go play the Giants. You at least want to be 1-1.
Yeah, no doubt. It would be 5 straight seasons if the Saints were to lose. So, of course, everybody's got a streak here that they'd like to snap. Maybe that's the theme of the week. Who snaps their streak? One more practice day to go here at the Osher Sports Performance Center. The Saints will be back on the practice field tomorrow, as will John and myself. Have a great rest of your Thursday. We'll see you next time on the Acme Oyster House Afternoon Wrap.